Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. Oh, every time he comes here, keep the applause going. I got to say it right. Have the B, I got to make sure it's accurate.
Facts.
Because if I don't say it correctly, they're going to say it incorrectly.
Don't fuck up the history, Sway.
I can't do that, have the B, because this history is my history.
Factuality.
My history is a part of his history.
All true.
Oh, my gosh, what an inspiration this man has always been. And they had these conversations about the greatest. And I realized that, man, I don't hear enough people saying his name in the greatest when you think of those who have the most longevity. I remember when Don't Stop Rapping came out back in 1985?
It was 5.
It was 85?
85.
In 1985. So do the math. 33 years, this man has been at the top of the game, consistently selling music, touring, selling merchandises, killing guest verses on collaborations, being recognized as a pillar in Northern California and the West Coast hip-hop scene as a whole. And he's here today to celebrate his 20th album. 20th album called The Pimp Tape, which will be released November 9th. Ladies and gentlemen, my homie, the one and only, Too Short.
Too short.
Too short.
Too short.
Too short. On Sway in the morning.
Hey, Sway.
Yeah.
You know, I had a pretty damn good 5-year career before 1985.
Yeah, speak on that. Because folks don't know that, man.
That in 81, 82, 83, 84, me and Freddie B.
Yeah.
That was a nice career. We always did shows. Everybody around the Bay knew us. I was famous.
Now, you were famous. You were Bay famous, right?
I was famous in high school.
What were some of the songs that were flat booty bitches was?
We used to have that.
Invasion of
that
Flat
was the
Booty.
one we used to have a game.
Yeah.
Game 1. That's the shit. Like what?
Yeah.
Me and Freddie B, like we really had the town sold up. We used to do stuff like I would go to the record store every Tuesday and buy whatever the hot new stuff was coming out, mostly like New York 12 inches, singles, and we flip it over and rap to it. I would have records out in the streets of Oakland before the real artists had their version out. Like people would think it was my beat. Like songs like Dollar Bill, y'all, Dollar Bill,
Dollar Bill.
We flipped that on the B side and put it in the streets way before that version got out. Yeah, that was the shit.
Wait a minute, that wasn't yours? Because in Oakland we thought that was yours.
And we used to wear out Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Genius Rap. We used to wear that instrumental out.
The Genius Rap. I remember that. And then y'all would put it on cassette tapes. And then we talked about this before. And then we would all buy the cassette tapes. You got to be riding on the AC transit system to get the cassette tapes. Hey, what was the town like back then? Like what was Festival at the Lake wasn't happening back then, though, right?
I think it was.
Was it happening back then?
But the Lake used to jump every Sunday. Period.
Yeah.
Like every Sunday was like an event. A lot of cities did that. The Sunday you find the water and hang out. We did that. The Lake was big time, and you remember you could be on the outskirts of the lake, or you could be inside where the park was at and kicking it. It was dope. I remember San Pablo being glamorous. Like, San Pablo's where the pimps and hoes do they.
Yeah, that's the tracks.
But I remember when it was glamorous, when it was like a fashion show. Like, you go out there and just sit and watch the cars pull up and watch the ladies looking like models and stuff. It was Oakland was beautiful. I remember going down to West Oakland. Like you go down like near 7th Street or something.
By the Acorns.
It just be active. It was active. Like you can go different places around the city and people would just. The Eastmont Mall was a hangout.
Yeah.
Like literally that was. You go to the mall and it was like going down.
Yeah, the mall was the shit. Like you got dressed up to go to the mall.
It was a thing to do.
It was the thing to do, right? When you look at, and it's all our folks in our community, but when you look at Oakland, does it bug you out that when you see these stories about a white woman calling the police on black folks at the lake based on this history?
Well, it's funny that you try that in a city like that and you see what happens. The backlash is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I was getting calls like, man, you coming to the barbecue? Like we about to barbecue this lady out the town. They had so many barbecues at that same spot after that. So it's that kind of town though, man. We are the Bay Area spirit is we protest when we think it's not right. We protest. We walk. You go to Bay right now, somebody somewhere with a picket sign. I was just staying at the airport Hilton. They was picketing that thing with.
I saw that. Yeah, I was there last week when I was driving back to the rental car.
We don't go for injustice out there, man.
They were picketing right then and there. Hey, did you and this is personal if you don't want to answer, I understand, but did you purchase any property in Oakland? Because now we don't own Oakland anymore, but a lot of us didn't purchase.
Yeah, I really feel bad about the '80s because I talked to this about the homies. You know, a lot of homies got in trouble back in the '80s, and they had a lot of money. I had homies who was getting busted with like $1 million cash and stuff like that. And we in all these inner cities, man, we had an opportunity to buy our cities, and we bought gold chains and cars. And, you know, I bought a house in Vacaville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could have been buying houses in Oakland. Every ring I bought, every chain could have been a spot, you know? So real estate is way up now. It's way up. I moved to Georgia. I was buying houses in Georgia, Louisiana, Arizona, Nevada. I was scared of California, man, because it costs a lot. So
it costs a lot.
So now, you know, the dot-commers are buying up Oakland. West Oakland is a really nice place, and downtown is like looking wonderful. These restaurants and stuff, and it's just easing on into East Oakland. So, you know, I have mixed emotions about gentrification, but at the same time, we can't stop what already happened across the water in San Francisco. They just took San Francisco.
Yeah, and now they doing Oakland.
Then they looked over at the bridge like, oh, let's take Oakland too.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, here's the thing you just said that's starting to move. And when he said it, have you been through? I've taken you all through Oakland. So deep East Oakland, they haven't really touched like the 80s yet, right? They're not buying up the 80s yet in the 90s.
Nah, you know, but it's going to probably, you know, they're all on that industrial side, the water side, the estuary. It's coming. It's just coming. Like
it's just moving up.
It's leaving from Jack London, and it's just like the blob. It's just the nice stuff is just
We need to put our resources together, make sure we get a piece of this.
Yeah, you know, because I'm watching like L.A. You know, the houses in the hood cost a lot.
Yeah, and
then you know, you sell your house in the hood. And then what are you gonna do? Move out to the suburbs? Those houses out there are raggedy, man. Them little cookie cutter houses.
Yeah.
And that's with the white flight when they all ran and built their little suburbs. Now the gas prices are up. The houses are raggedy out there. They want to come back and take the city back. And then you go to, like in the Bay, you go to cities like Antioch, Pittsburgh. They easing us out there and letting us have their old houses. You know
that's crazy, man. You getting the game from short right now. You getting the game from short.
Right.
So yeah, if you do have an opportunity, man, I love my young homies who were purchasing, you know, like buying their mama's and daddy's house or the house next door to their mama's house. I got a lot of homies that did that one.
Yeah, and
I appreciate that, man. If you have an opportunity, you're a young homie getting money, buy something in the city, man. For real.
You got it from Too Short. It's your 20th album, the Pimp Tape that's coming out. Do you have what do you think was probably your most lucrative time period around what album you think?
It was just a run. I did that six platinums in a row. That run, it started with Life is Too Short.
Wait, hold up. Did he just stun on us?
That's crazy.
That's 6 platinums in a row.
That's crazy.
Started with Life is Too Short, right?
And the last one was album number 10, Getting It. And it was it was a time where we weren't getting a lot of radio play. It wasn't a lot of visibility, but it was a fan base that, you know, like Jive Records told me when I started arguing with Jive later on around like Shake That Monkey and Blow the Whistle in the early 2000s, and they were like, we just not in the business of promoting Too Short because we never had to. It's like we're so used to just put the Too Short record out, it goes platinum, and that's that. So it was a good fan base, man. And I think that was the time where that was probably like 1989 through about 96, 97, and it was just the golden era of Too Short. It was can't do no. I was Michael Jackson, man.
Oh yeah, easily. Like easy. You and Mike could have been on the same stage.
I moved to Atlanta. I was Michael Jackson in Atlanta. I was loving it.
And then what in the 2000s? What was the song you think that probably spiked your visibility for the newer audience?
It was the Lil Jon production on the 1-2 punch of Shake That Monkey and Blow the Whistle. Those songs were like 05, 06, 04, 05, 06, and it just I was 40 years old making hit records, you know what I mean? Rap records, and it was just it it gave my career like this whole new resurgence. It was steady, but it just like catapulted me to some new. It's official, legendary. You can't debate it. It's not up for debate. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. The legacy is sealed.
Yeah.
Too Short. So when you talk about Jay-Z and you talk about LL and you talk about Snoop Dogg and you talk about Nas,
E40, Fat Joe,
E40, Fat Joe, and we can name a couple of other, not too many others. You got to talk about Too Short.
Yes, sir.
Say his name, Too Short.
Too Short.
All right, the Pimp Tape is coming out November the 9th, man. I wondered when you called it the Pimp Tape, did it cross your mind about how the social climate is now with the Me Too movement and you starting to see?
Well, I was very matter of fact about the title and about how I approached it.
Okay.
And it really, when you play it through, it's not about prostitution.
Okay.
The Pimp Tape is not about that. It's really about what I have been doing this whole time. It's the state of mind. It's something that I got from the town that if you are not a pimp, if you don't even care in the world about what a woman is selling her body or not and trying to give you money, it ain't about that. You like, I still feel like a pimp.
You still feel like a pimp.
I still know everything a pimp knows, and you better treat me like one. You know what I mean? It's an attitude we have, man. You know, I call it pimp-ish.
It's pimp-ish.
I'm pimp-ish.
Damn, so I you know it's funny, Heather, because I kind of feel the same way about myself.
I know. I could tell how you walk down the hallways in here. You walk different in the hallways around here too.
It's a little different, man. That's that.
I mean, you have town guidelines. You don't talk to me a certain way. You don't disrespect me. You don't use me.
Yeah,
and you got that from the town.
You got that's a goddamn right.
And what about the word bitch? Because earlier we were talking about, when it comes to blow the whistle, that's one of my favorite parts. Absolutely.
Well, these words, these negative words like nigga and bitch, hip hop has taken these words and done different things with them. It went from who you calling a bitch to what's up, bitch? And it's okay. You said to your homegirl the other day,
right?
Like, bitch, you know what I'm about to do?
It's just some people feel like, okay, the woman could own it because it was used as a word of oppression in a sense. You know what I mean? The same way how black people feel like we can use the N-word and white people can't. Do you ever take in consideration those type of boundaries?
It's a tone of voice. It's the way you direct it. You know what I'm saying? And it could be very disrespectful as all the F word. They all can be. But we in this swagged out culture of hip hop, we redefine so many words. We could take anything and change it up. I just believe that I personally did not make the word bitch as acceptable as it is, but I think that just having fun with it, saying bitch on the songs and in concert, and it went into pop culture. Comedians start putting it in their stage shows. The way Death Row put it up on a pedestal. It just became something that everybody either had fun saying or you just heard it every turn you made. So it after some point I noticed that people just start saying it. They was like bitch. So I'm like it's cool.
Bitch made you a lot of money. That word made you a lot of money.
The bitch made me a lot of money.
Bitch made you a lot of money. Hey, let me ask you this. I know you've had beefs in your careers, but and
not a lot though.
Not a lot, and we've even sat down and meshed one out when me, you, the Loonies, and everybody sat down and talked on there. Have you ever been in have you ever had battles though?
Nah, because in those days, the young, Too Short days, I used to hang with those guys, and they would be like, first and foremost, it was rules and regulation on me. Like, man, you ain't about to be battle rapping nobody. If somebody's saying something about you on a record, we just gonna go holler at them, and that doesn't mean we're gonna beat them up or fight them. You just walk up, you like, hey man, don't rap about Too Short. Just don't do it. Yeah. And then you be like, okay. It was that type of thing. I never had to really worry about rap battles. I never even had to tell people to protect me or do something for me. I had those homies that just be like, they would be so mad. You rapped about Too Short, they would go all around on their own and find you and be like, bro, don't make no records about Too Short.
And you didn't do it. Who were those homies at that time?
P.O., Kiki and Boo and all them, the Randy Park boys, you know what I'm saying, Plymouth boys. I had a lot of sponsors, man. The Village dudes used to 69 Village. They used to, get my back. Lil D and all them. It was. I was the town mascot, man.
Yeah, you honestly, it's true, man. I would suppose whatever Michael Jordan was to Chicago and that Bulls run is what Too Short has always been to Oakland. I know D is out in the community doing a lot of work. Can you tell people who Little D is and his importance?
Well, he's one of the guys who, that Obama got up out of there for being a nonviolent, felon or whatever. And he did a lot of time. I think he did 20-something years in prison, and it was for drugs. He was selling drugs, but it was not. He was not in there for violent crime. So he got out, and he came home to see how the condition of the city, and when you go through something like that, when your youth is taken from you, you know what I mean? I've had homies tell me that, I went to jail for a murder when I was 16, man. I got out when I was 40-something. It's like I didn't get to live. I didn't have a childhood. So when you lose your youth like that, man, you care about the next generation. You come out of there and you're like, bro, don't do what I just did. But it's hard for a youngster maybe to absorb it. But that's what he's trying to do. He's like, man, you don't want to do what I just did. I just went and sat down for 20-something years. Yeah. And you don't want to do that.
It ain't worth it.
I know a lot of homies that came home from those 80s with those drug cases, and they don't want to be criminals no more. They're trying to find a way to make some real legitimate money and wishing that their smart asses would have, used their brains when they were getting that money to like do something legit. So, I preach that, man, to my young homies. I don't like to be a pedestal preacher, but if I get your ear, I'm like, bruh, the hustle of trying to get your legitimate hustle together, it may take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but it's gonna last you a lifetime versus that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years it takes you to catch that case that puts you away for 20 years. And it's that much. You ain't got to go to college, but you could take 5 years and be constructive, man, and put a plan together and build a business. It sounds like a long time when you're 20 or 18 or something, but it's not a long time to go to college or to perfect whatever it is. You got to become an expert at it. You want to be a professional bowler. Yeah. Start bowling right now. Do it for about 8 years. You're going to be a professional.
You'll be a professional.
Anything.
You're getting the game from Short right now. 888-742-3345. We'll take your calls. In your song, Ain't My Girlfriend, the video. It's a really interesting video. The song has some really really edgy lyrics in it.
It's the thing where you in the car at the red light, and you look over at the white guy in his car, and you hear the song he's listening to, and he's word for word singing it. That song has a lot of N-words in it, and he ain't skipping none of them. Yeah, I'm one of those people that, like, if you in your car listening to your hip hop, you can end it up all day if you want to. You in your world, and we just wanted to capture that moment of like a whole white family loving hip hop. Grandma, the little kids, the mom and daddy, they in there. Nigga this and nigga that, and it's real life.
It's real. Did they have a problem saying it at the video shoot, or were they just mouthing it?
I think the director and everybody just gave him a pass. Like, just say it. It's comedy though, man.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, they wasn't really like sitting around saying it.
Okay.
And I look back though, it cracks me up every time I look at it. I actually laugh every time I see it because the grandma is owning.
She's owning the N-word. She's like, oh, you want me to say what? Oh, I got that one. The pops is kind of not really saying it. The little boy gonna get his ass whipped when he go back to school. He's gonna be like, I was acting, nah, dog. The girl was like she been saying it in her dreams.
Grandma got some history though.
Yeah, grandma got some history, man. We gonna open up these phone lines. This ain't my girlfriend. Too short.
The ER version
new music. All right, it's Sway in the morning. Shade 4-5.
That's my bitch.
Not my girlfriend though.
No matter how
Too short here, man.
She's still on my dick.
Man.
Nigga, I can still hit.
Man don't work with everybody. From Parliament to Jay-Z. Tupac to E40. He's done it all, man. Too Short is here, releasing his 20th album, The Pimp Tape, on November the 9th. Hey, man, what's your thought on the Raiders, man, real quick?
The present day season or the future moving, like the whole thing?
The future, the whole thing. Well, the present day season sucks.
I don't know how you go from like being so sorry for like 14 years and then finally getting Carr and the whole thing working. 2 seasons ago, Carr break his leg. We come back the next season, like still hopeful. And you just destroy the whole team. we got the coach that that left us. We got rid of him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he beat us in the Super Bowl next year,
Mm-hmm.
and then he became a commentator, and we just like, come on back to Oakland, and he comes back to. It's like I don't know. It's like he got a little vendetta against us or something, right? You're gonna beat us in the Super Bowl, then you're gonna come back to be our coach 10 years later or something, and destroy the team in weeks.
Yeah.
It seems like sabotage. I
Gruden
don't know,
got a
man.
vendetta against the town. How is the town reacting? Like, I'm home every month.
I read between the lines. I'm like, he must have messed with some chick out there or something. Something he did something. I don't know, man. He got
holding something over his head.
He mad at the town for something, man.
The town firing back though now, because I know the Raiders are going to Vegas. And the town is suing the Raiders. Or
I heard that we want the colors, we want the name, we want the silver and black. Leave it in Oakland. Take the Raiders and rename them to Jackpots or something, man.
Jackpot.
The Las Vegas slot machines or something.
Las Vegas slot machine.
But on the flip side, man, I'm Raider Nation. I bleed silver. You got a razor blade? You can cut me right now. I have silver blood.
Same here.
And when the Raiders go to Vegas, I'm going to Vegas.
You gonna be there?
Wow.
If we in Vegas with a 1-12 record, I'm there Friday night, home game weekend. We kicking it. We gonna make it a party. If it's not gonna be a football game, we gonna do something because I got a song where I'm saying it's called Raider Colors, and the gist of the song is that we are Raider Nation. This ain't about no fucking football.
Yeah.
It's about the silver and black.
There it is, man. Raider Nation.
That's dedication.
There it is. Oh, Lord.
Hey, yo, it's 3 people that can't say nothing right now. Us Raiders,
Okay.
y'all Giants,
Uh-huh.
and them goddamn Cowboys.
Them Cowboys.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Let's not talk football. You want to talk sports? What we talking? Basketball.
That's right. Golden State Warriors have that.
Steph had 51
I ain't gotta say.
last
I love
night.
having short here. I ain't gotta talk. I ain't gotta say nothing.
You
Steph
seen
had
them 10? You
51
seen them
last
10
night.
threes last night? You seen them?
Yeah, and the Athletics did decent. I thought they was gonna go farther. I thought the A's would do better this year, but we had a good showing.
The
Don't
A's,
matter.
the A's kryptonite is called the Yankees. It's been that for years.
I know.
It's been that for years.
Q's a Yankee fan too, man. Any comment? No comment. All right, Luan, what up, man? Luan's on the line from Cali. Is it Luan? Lejeune. I'm sorry, Lejeune. Good morning. Is it Lejeune? All right, cool.
It's Lejeune. Good morning.
Hey.
All right, go ahead.
Hi.
Hey.
I just want to say I love you, Too Short. It's Too Short, baby. That Mac and ass pimp. I love it.
What's up?
When are you coming down to Riverside County to perform either at the casinos or anywhere near us?
I actually will be there Saturday night. This
Oh
Saturday.
my God.
It's the How the West Was Won. It's a big show. Come on.
I'm coming, baby.
Ice Cube. Come on.
You gonna be there?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. I love you, Too Short. Keep doing what you do. I'm not worried about the people that talk negative about you because if they really listen to what you're saying, it's deeper than what they hear it. You understand what I'm saying?
My music is educational all the way around, all the way.
It always has been. You can pick up, and it's a different kind of education. You get the basic education of dollars and cents, do the math, but then you're going to get an education you can't get on no college campus or no high school campus.
I mean, dudes really come to me, man, with like heartfelt, like, bro, you're my father. Like my daddy wasn't around, and Too Short Records raised me, and thank you.
That's what's up, man.
I get a lot of that.
Too Short here. Cody, what up? What you want to say?
Cody, what's popping?
Yo, what's happening? Hey, this your boy Cody Lee 941. Short, I want to know if you want to make a VH1 special on how to make a short, awkward white dude a pimp.
I could probably pimp your girl.
Wow.
I mean like the show Pimp My Ride.
Okay.
Oh.
Pimp your girl. Yeah.
But I can't make you a pimp because I was raised to believe that pimping is in you. It's not on you. You can't wear it. You just have to be it.
Wow. Well.
Damn, Cody.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, the fact that you answered that question, asked that question, mean you might not have the pimp in you. All right, man. Quasi, what up, man?
It not on.
What's going on, fellas? Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up, Short?
What up, though?
Here.
Hey, born and raised in Oakland, man. I just want to say, man, it's a blessing to have you in the hip hop community, man. I remember when I was in the military and I was stationed overseas and whatnot, man. Too Short. I mean, everybody down south was loving Too Short, man. And it's like, your records got me so much pussy when I was in the military, man. It was ridiculous, man. So I just want to thank you, man. And then to me, one of my biggest hip hop moments was is when Life is Too Short came on BET, man. It's like when I saw that, I was like, we finally made it, man. I never forget. I was at my godbrother's house, Roosevelt House in the Twomps, man. And when the video came on, man, we ran out the house, man. We was like, we did it, man.
Yeah, that video, that video is the town. It is the town.
That's the town.
But I got to thank you, homie, because really my career jumped off from college students and people in the military, leaving Oakland and taking the music and making other people like it. So I'm thanking you, man.
And thank you for your service too in the military, Quasi. Thank you. We appreciate you for that. All right.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll see you come home, Sway.
Okay, that's what's up, bro. Be safe. All right. Too Short is here, man. The Pimp Tape is the name of the album. His 20th album, out November the 9th. Check him out on tour as well. All right, man. I just want to say thank you, bro. I love you, family.
Town business. That's what we say.
You already know. Town business.
Just for the record, man, I knew Sway before the Wake Up Show, and he knew me before Jive Records or any of that. So we go that far back.
We go way back.
Dirt bikes.
We go back to the 80s, man. Teenagers with snotty noses.
76 gas station, riding in the dirt trails behind the gas station.
Damn, you remember them days? God damn. Too Short, ladies and gentlemen.